Good day to you, fans of the Overpowered. So we're just going to have a quick look here at a bit of the fine-tuning of the old jump bleed meta using a few new items from the DLC. So I've seen in this clip, like just one jump attack did around 30,000 damage, and as you're just about to see now, even the stupid eye resistances and negations of the Turtle Pope fall for it in about 7 seconds. So the items you'll want are generally the same as before, with just a few small changes. So first up, in your main hand, you want Scavenger Curve Sword with Occult Affinity and the Seppuku Ash. In your offhand, you'll want to equip Scavenger's Curve Sword with Cold Affinity and the Chilling Mist Ash. And also in another offhand slot, you'd want the Commander's Standard, as we'll be using its Special Ash Rallying Standard. On your head, you want to have the White Mask, obviously. Chest piece can either be Gravebird's Black Quill Armour or the Raptor's Black Feathers, as they give the same buff. On hands, you'll want the Rakshasa Gauntlets, as they provide a damage buff and the first of the new additions to this build. And the same is true of the Greaves, also buffing damage. Be mindful though that both of these also increase the amount of damage taken. So for the talismans, you will want the same as what you've always used for this kind of setup, I'd imagine. Rotten Wing Talisman and Millicent's Prosthesis for the consecutive attack buffs, Lord of Blood Exaltation Talisman for the Blood Loss buff, and then Claw Talisman for the jump attacks that we'll be using. Now onto a couple of new things. First up is adding the Blood-Sucking Cracked Tear to your physic, which increases all attack power but drains your HP, alongside the usual Thorny Cracked Tear that obviously still buffs the consecutive attacks. And then we are onto the Sacred Bloody Flesh, which boosts up your physical damage and arcane as soon as you take it, which is clearly perfect for any bleed build, but it also gets an additional buff when the blood loss occurs. So now you've got like 5 extra things stacking into the build that weren't possible before. The gloves and the boots, the physic, and then the 2 from the consumable. So the final item is the Blood Boil Aromatic that buffs up all the attack power too at the expense of taking extra damage as well. So all in all, you've got a ridiculously high boost damage when stacked up like this, but also will take an absolute ton more damage, so this is a real glass cannon. I've decided that to try and keep the video shorter, I won't bother showing where anything is, as all the names are there, so you can just look for the location on Fextra or whatever you prefer, but I imagine you'll have the majority of it anyway. So for your setup before a boss, my preference is to do it in the order shown, which is Rallying Standard, and then switch into you Chilling Mist, and then pop your physic, take the Sacred Bloody Flesh, do your Blood Boil, and then finally doing Seppuku. Seppuku should be the last thing to activate because that's when it does the extra buff from the Sacred Flesh. And then of course you just want to go out there and hit those jump attacks. Here it all is anyway, just tied together and with a kill at the end just to show it in action. You're probably wondering why I used Chilling Mist on the second one rather than another bleed, and I just thought that frost build up that you can get on it as well will chunk just as much health off as the blood loss, so it's fantastic. Doing the Chilling Mist on it adds, I think, another 60 frost build up to whatever it is, and it starts at over 100 when it's max anyway, so it's well worth trying. So if you think any of this will help, then please do subscribe, like, leave a comment, whatever, and tell your friends to come and do the same. So, also as a side note, and unfortunately this bit's just for PlayStation, but if you're struggling with anything, or finding any of the items, or getting any of the items, please do come find our Discord, where we can drop you the runes, or items, or weapons, or whatever, or, for if there's stuff that you need to get yourself, like we can provide probably the best PvE help you'll find anywhere on the internet. There's links to it all over my videos, but if you can't find one that's working, just let me know in the comments and I will provide. Right, cheers for watching and I'll see you next time.